Hi y'all, my name is Sky Eastridge. I'm going to be covering a few readings for Reflection 1. Our first reading is What is a City? A city is not just buildings, but a theater of social life. People plus institutions are the main actors. Cities are shaped by interaction and culture. Physical form are streets and infrastructure. True value is human relationships and community. Cities can meet both practical needs and emotional/cultural needs. Cities preserve tradition and culture. They act as symbols of shared values and they connect the past, present, and the future. Bigger cities equal more possibilities for connection, but also more risks for disorder, inequality, and alienation. Our main takeaways: a city is more than just infrastructure, it is a community, culture, and human connection. Urban planning should prioritize people first. My chosen article is Social Infrastructure and the Public Life of Cities. Social infrastructure is shared everyday spaces that connect people and communities. It goes beyond function as they shape how people interact, socialize, and build belonging. Social infrastructure creates opportunity for connection, trust, and public life while directly impacting society, politics, health, and well-being. Social infrastructure takeaways. Cities are not just physical places, but they are also institutions that structure daily life, values, and relationships. Viewing cities as social institutions mean recognizing that urban planning decisions are also social choices that affect equality, belonging, and democracy. My last reading is Urbanism as a Way of Life. A city is a large, dense, permanent settlement. Urbanism is a distinct mode of life, not just physical size or economy. Three characteristics are size, density, and heterogeneity. Urban social life thrives on secondary contacts, impersonal, transitionatory, and superficial. Family and neighborhood ties are weakened. Effects on personality. Urbanites are rational, sophisticated, tolerant, but they also are lonely, stressed, and disorganized. It leads to a mix of freedom as well as alienation.
Howdy, my name is Alistair Jackson, and I covered the reading of The Image of the City by Kevin Lynch. And some things I was able to pick up on by his writings was, or at least over cities, is that the image of the city is characterized and shaped by the mental image held by its citizens. And that can be with like soaked in memories or meanings that the citizens have created or bonded with through the city itself. And being able to structure and identify the environment around you is very important and very key to creating a mental image for yourself of the city. And some things that you could look at around the city are its paths that you can take, the edges, the landmarks that embody the city, the nodes or districts that also are held in the city and its structure as well. And Kevin Lynch also signified the importance of how cities should be able to balance visual cues with its movement so that the city is legible in itself and so that citizens that embody that city are able to move around and function in it and not have any stops or hindrances to move around the city. But Kevin Lynch also uh, said in his writings that cities should have, or a good city design creates mystification and surprise, but only under two conditions, and that is if there is no danger of losing basic form orientation, so pretty much how the city is laid out and how citizens are able to form those orientations of the city, and also how citizens should create mystery and unfold this and explore the city gradually, allowing for exploration over time. Something that really caught my interest and has been discussed in other classes is the concept of 15-minute cities. So originally, these 15-minute cities were conceptualized by Carlos Moreno in 2016, and the reason for 15-minute cities is to create a city uniform enough so that all people can access any part of the city within a 15-minute walk or bike ride. So that allows for convenience and easy movement of people around the city itself. Also, one basic and significant factor of these 15-minute cities is that there are complete neighborhoods, and they also reduce a lot of pollution, whether that's air, water, or noise. And that's because 15-minute cities restrict or crack down on the usage of cars. So it'll be a cleaner environment, and also um, you'll have to find other ways of transportation as well, and not rely on a car like how many centuries have had to in America. So it is very innovative, 15-minute cities are. And some key principles behind 15-minute cities is that they are essential and or they have essentials nearby. I'm sorry on that one. They have essentials nearby, and they are just close in proximity, so you should be able to go from your home and get a service or go eat within 10 or 15 minutes. It shouldn't take you half an hour just to go from one side or from your house to the other side. It, so this will be convenient for many, many citizens. Also, it allows for diversity between activities and services as well, while also in a moderately smaller space for a city size, and also allows for more connectivity between the people that make up the 15-minute city. So people will have close connections and be able to get along with each other and know who one another is, and that allows for safe communities to develop as well.
Cities exist through the convenience found by the agglomeration of industry and people, the development of the connectivity between your labor pool and your factories and your distribution centers and your shopping centers has a massive capability of generating wealth unlike anywhere else on the planet. And these urban characteristics and features have changed definition over time, and what exactly is urban is still up to debate to this day. Now, due to computers, we have the best data available than ever before. Cities exist under real push and pull factors about exactly where locations should be placed, like the need for fresh water from local rivers, and then also like rail lines and roads, defense, historic places. And all of these factors and all of these rules and laws that we find in cities have allowed us to develop theories and models to more accurately describe what we will see and what we've seen before. And this is super important because when we move over to this TED Talk, The Surprising Math of Cities and Corporations by Jeffrey West, we find that there are natural laws in biology like this slope that we find in the metabolic rate versus the mass. This same slope is found due to the growth that we're going to experience in urbanism and the primitive law about the biggest city in the city then having the second biggest be 1/2 and then the third biggest be 1/3 and so on. And all these laws relate back to like a conclusion of what really are cities and what have we defined, what have we found out about our cities from this week's learning. The cities are natural. They form under real pressures from people to conglomerate into more efficient systems. But they're also not only about economic industries. There's social networking opportunities that exist in cities that are like nowhere else on the planet. They're super important to human culture and human environment. And that cities follow these certain laws and rules and can be modeled, but this exact modeling isn't going to necessarily relate to the social infrastructure that we find in cities too. So we have to take in mind these models for the laws that cities undertake, but also the uniqueness of humans and how they'll change and develop their own environments themselves and the personalization of environments.